about being married and having your own place took you by surprise?
I think just waking up and realizing that, oh my gosh, this is our life. It's like you've waited for this your whole, like, for years,
Yeah.
And when you actually realize that you are where you've wanted to be, it's a really great moment of gratitude, right? So it happens to me a lot. I'm kind of like, babe, yo, this is our house. Did you know that? This is our house. Like, we're married. We're actually married. So it's just like this moment of joy, reflecting and realizing that the things that you waited for have come to pass. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think just realizing you're married. Ooh.
It's a lot of taking
it
time.
It hits you every single day.
Yeah, it's like, dang, I'm married. Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Like, I think we were going somewhere and there was a form to fill, and they asked me some question and I wrote spouse.
Ish.
And I was like, who am I? And then also, what took us by surprise? Well, for me, about the house was, it's one thing to actually move into a home and then another to furnish it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like, it's been months. And before we got into the house, we were like, after a month, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's been like months. And we don't have a dining table yet. Like, we sit on the couch to work and to eat. And it's only now that we're like slowly putting things together.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why furnitures are so expensive. It's just wood and a few couple of nails. Like, I want to go and learn how to become a carpenter like Jesus, because I want to do this on my own. Like, I just want a shoe rack, and it's like, I don't know how much. So that's what takes me by surprise. Every single day, like, I take it upon myself to make our house a home, but then the process of doing it is just like, oh my God. But yeah, we got a lot of this type of question where they asked, how did you manage to convince your parents for marriage? Addressed to both of us. And yeah, we've kind of done this before as well. I don't remember in which video, but we'll do a quick reply to that.
Yeah. You want to start?
Sure. I think my parents, I did them in stages. I started with my mom, and I was just like very honest with her. And in fact, I told my mom even when we were just dating, because I just didn't want her to feel like I hid this from her for so long. So I made sure that there was somebody in the family who knew and had my back. Yeah. And then much later, I talked to my dad. And it was just a matter of being very honest about wanting to spend my life with Tom and why I wanted it. Like, it was such a strange conversation because he asked me 10 reasons, and all my 10 reasons at the end, he was like, these are very emotional reasons. Are you sure this is well thought out? I'm like, it has to be, because it has been for the past 5 years. So yeah, apart from getting permission, it was more like taking a stand on my own. And even if it meant being eaten by the wolves, I had to do it. And just be stubborn about it as well. And then I think over time, also giving them time to think about it is important. And then over time, like, took a couple of weeks and they got back and they were okay with it because they're taking time to talk to Tom and talk to Tom's parents as well, on phone, of course. And they were like, you know what, if you feel it's the right decision, you should go for it. So yeah, the long story short is to be very honest, but also be very, very sure in your decision, and also be very patient because you want them to think through it as well, and being open to conversations with different parties involved. Yeah.
I think for me, I just made sure that I didn't. When I revealed it, we had been dating for about a year. So I just didn't want a situation where...
I revealed it before he did.
Yeah, so yeah. I was like, you know what, I don't know what to expect, but I'm just going to wait for a year and I'll bring it up then. By that time, it's evident that for sure it's not just a joke, it's serious. And yeah, so I waited for a year, did it, no issues. It was, everyone saw it somehow.
So many questions like that, but that's why we actually, do you want to inform them?
Yeah. Drum roll, people. So, one of the projects we're doing for 2022 is that Chennai to Lagos is going to launch a podcast.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we're going to launch a podcast, and we'll also do the video version of it, so like you can see us like this. But the reason why we wanted to do it is that we realized that there's a lot of stuff we would like to talk about, and I guess traditional YouTube and traditional formatting of this platform, it basically kind of quote unquote doesn't really encourage you to get into all the details. YouTube is just, it's quick format entertainment.
It's more visual.
Pam. You take it all in. So the podcast is going to be a place where we can break down things and talk about more serious issues, because over time we've realized that there are people who watch us because like, oh my God, yeah, you guys look cute, this or that. But then there's also a great deal of people who watch because maybe they see relate. Us. Yeah, you relate to what's going on. Maybe you're in a relationship like ours. It could be intercultural or whatever. Or maybe you're just in a relationship period, and maybe somehow we have been able to set an example or do something that probably, you aspire to do. I don't know what it is. But anyway, the point is, the podcast is going to be one of our new projects for this year. And we'll be starting very, very soon. And we'll be able to dive into things, topics, and really get into the deep stuff so we can unpack a lot of things that make this relationship work and really just help people out there, wherever it might be.
Yeah. So we'll let you know when our podcast is up. Actually, we have a very interesting theme for the season, and we're going to dive into some very interesting topics in each of them. So really looking forward to bringing that up. So we got a lot of, has Tom visited India, or when are you visiting?
Yeah. We have not visited India yet.
You have not.
I have not visited India yet. But by God's grace, that should be able to happen soon. Hopefully even this year. We're still figuring it out. The pandemic really changed a lot of things. Travel bans, all those kind of things, and we've seen how also this year things have changed. So we're just taking it as it is, and just going about it naturally. But we will see each other soon. That's for sure. Yeah,
and I think the same applies even to Nigeria at this point. It was one thing for us to make these plans, and another for sort of like reality. With everything that's going on. So we're just trying to balance all that, and all right. And then there were a couple of culture questions which I really loved. So someone had asked us, how do we manage differences when it comes to our culture?
This is also one of the reasons why we want to have the podcast. I think what makes this relationship so interesting is that a lot of people think when you have two very dominant cultures that are very, very vibrant, and in your face, like Indians and Nigerians, surely,
we're everywhere,
so there's this tendency to think that it's going to be a battle to see, but I think what happens is, because we are coming from these entirely different worlds, it's actually helped us even look inwards to see what really is our culture about. I feel like culture is something that we take for granted when you're with somebody who is the same culture, because things lose meaning. But because of how this relationship is set up, we take a step back and realize, oh wow, what do we do? So it's really just a collaboration. We're actually intrigued about both sides. I feel like that's one thing that has thrived, and YouTube has really, really helped. Just even like how we think about, okay, what are we doing? Are we going to do something for, the Nigerian community? Are we going to do something for the Tamil community? And we try and balance that. So I think the culture thing I feel like it's really, really worked out, because now we really we love that. We love seeing what we do in other areas, finding similarities, and just building it into our life.
That's true. Yeah. So it's actually made us more curious about our own cultures.
Imagine.
But also learning about each other's culture, which is an interesting dynamic we never saw happening before. But also, it's very important not to try to answer questions that come to your mind all at once. Like if we tried to answer the reality of our lives now when we're still dating, it would have looked very confusing even to us. Like, how would we do this? How would we do that? But now that we're married and you're in that phase, I think when you're in that phase and the commonality is that we love each other and we love our family and we love where we come from, and who we are, doesn't really change much. It's just about understanding why do you guys do this, you know.
Yeah.
Let's learn about what's Diwali and why you guys do it. Let's learn about everything that happens in Nigeria. Let's see how to incorporate into our lives,
Yeah.
but not necessarily forcing it in each other's
Exactly.
faces. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting thing.
It's really interesting.
What do you love about each other's culture? That was a question.
The food. My gosh, like I can't even hide. Like, as a Yoruba boy, I am so proud of the food that my country has come up with, and I still think it's one of the greatest things in the world. But it's just a joy experiencing this entirely different world, you know. Yes, Tamil stuff as well, but even just the larger part of India. So I really, I think, but that's not the only thing, obviously. I think besides just the food, just the culture in general, I think it's very interesting, because when you come from your own world and, you know, your own way of life, your own culture, there's a way that you see Earth, there's a way that you see humanity, and it's framed by your upbringing and everything. So when you interact with somebody who has gone through an entirely different, you know, process of growing up, it opens your eye to realize that the world is bigger than you and your culture. And I think that for me is the most exciting. So I really just like everything. It's very holistic. Food, music, movies, dance. Like we take time every now and then, watch movies. I love the clothing. There's a lot of similarities between, you know, her culture and mine. So it's really nice just kind of seeing, oh yeah, you guys do that too. Oh wow, we do this too. Or you eat this as well, we eat that too. So
Exactly.
I'm always exploring. So I think I really just love the culture in general. It feels very familiar to me because it's kind of like Yoruba culture, just, you know, with its own little twist. Yeah.
That's true, yeah. I would say the same thing, you know. I love the clothes, especially ones that mom wears. So beautiful, so regal. Everything about Nigerian women is so regal. Like, they just look like queens. And then how vibrant, and I don't know if this is a culture trait, but you guys are like, by you guys I mean Nigerians, are like go-getters, you know. Like, when you want to do something, you just grab it by the neck and you go for it.
I feel the same way about Indians. I feel like Indians are
But I feel like
very
we're
hardworking. You know what I mean?
Actually, the thing I want to add to that is
Yeah.
not only are you go-getters, but you know how to party. Like, you know how to dance, you know how to move, you know. And yeah, Indians are the same, but we're more mellow. You know,
Yeah.
we're a bit shy. We're a bit
Nigerians are in your face.
until we're like, okay, we're now ready to dance. Let's dance
Yeah.
as a group. Let's make a circle. But the Nigerians are like, no, and nobody. It's okay. You guys can not dance. I'll just enter, put myself in the middle, and I will dance, and I'll bring joy to this space. And it's
Yeah.
just so beautiful, and I love that, and I just admire that. You know, even with my in-laws, they're so vibrant. They're so fun. They just want to dance and eat good food and just wear good clothes and just look so cute. Like, you know, it's just everything that you want to do when you want to live a good life. So I love to learn that from my in-laws. By in-laws I mean Nigerians. Like, the whole Nigeria country is my in-law at this point.
Precisely.
Yeah. So I think that also answers similarities. He just said it, you know, clothes, food, music,
Everything.
movies. Like, we are kind of very similar in
Very
those
similar.
aspects, you know.
The biggest movie industries after Hollywood. Obviously, like, I know that Bollywood is not exactly the Tamil thing, but if you put it
It's still
collectively,
India. Yeah.
the whole of India, Bollywood, Collywood, and all of these things, like, you realize that movies are a big deal.
Yeah.
Same
Music
thing
is a
for
big
us.
deal.
Music is a big deal. Music is a big deal to us. Food is a big deal. Food is also a big deal to
Exactly.
us. Our clothes, big deal. Big deal to us. What they call it, they're multiple cultures.
Yeah.
Same thing with us. So we understand, like, our cultures are so similar. It's very easy to see, like, you can relate. You can relate with what you're going through, you know?
That's so true. And like, even the first time I went to Nigeria, I didn't feel like it was so different.
It's
you know?
both hot.
Yeah, it's hot. It's the same hustle.
Yeah.
You know, like,
So many.
and like, everybody's trying to make something work. And it's the same
Yeah.
thing even in India, you know. Everybody's working hard. Everybody's trying to move their goals. And I like, the first time, like, even dad, my father-in-law asked me, what did you like about Nigeria? Or what did you notice about Nigeria? I said, it's just like India. Even the highways are like that. Even the buildings are like, even the transportation feels like that, you know?
Yeah.
So much is so similar. And from my perspective, that's why I was like, the biggest lesson I've learned is we're all not that different as we think we are.
Yeah.
You know, just because of maybe outer appearances. We all stem from almost similar backgrounds at the end of the day. And it's a matter of seeing that and acknowledging it, appreciating it in the other person, and finding commonalities from there, you know?
Exactly.
And we're gifted with that because of the internet era. Like, we're online and can see so many things, and we can appreciate how similar we all are.
Yeah.
So I think we just have to take advantage of that.
Exactly.
So many people asked if, are you pregnant? And there was also a very fantastic question that asked us, how annoying is the "are you pregnant" question? And it's very annoying. That's what I would say. Because ever since we got married, like, every video past our wedding video has been, are you pregnant?
Even the first video after.
Even the very first video, which was like a week after our wedding, right?
It's like, are you pregnant now?
Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant now?
Babies soon?
Yeah.
No?
And
okay.
then
Next week. Now?
Are you pregnant? You know? So it's too much. And I know that almost all of you mean well when you ask that question. Of course, you just want to see us in that phase, and even us, we're waiting, you know? So when that time comes, we would be the happiest people on earth to share that with you. So we're not hiding it or anything. But it's very triggering when, you know, you put somebody on a microscopic lens and you're just like weighing them and measuring them and trying to see, are you pregnant, by mentioning aspects of the person as weight and, you know, so many other very weird stuff, which you feel very attacked, honestly. So yeah, as a woman, I feel like it's too much to be asked that question in every other video. So yeah, you know, it's just a matter of letting us say it on our own when the time comes for that.
And yeah, you will hear it from us.
Yeah, but thank you for reaching out to me about it. But I'm very well. I'm very healthy, as you can see. I'm very healthy, and if you feel like, you know, oh, you added weight, you're pregnant, there's so many other reasons people can add weight. Come on. But for now, that is where we'll leave that question. We'll come back to it when the time comes for that.
So yes, guys, like, listen, we know you mean well, at least most of you, but you will find it out from us. Yeah, we'll tell you when that time comes. We're not hiding. We're just living our best life. So when that time comes, y'all gonna know. Trust me, you will know. We're content creators. How can we hide such a thing? So just chill out, but you will hear it from us when that time comes. Yeah.
Well, that was it for today.
Oh, okay.
Those were like basically all the questions you've asked. Of course, there were a lot more questions, but it's going to take us 2 more hours to get through all that. But we've answered the most.
Yeah.
The ones that might be relevant to everybody as well.
Yeah.
So looking forward to sharing our podcast with you guys soon.
Yeah.
We're working on it. A lot more small projects are also coming up. So very excited about that. We are working so hard to like make C2L Fam bigger.
Yeah.
And more relevant and more consistent. So bear with us.
And also we want to thank you because we said that now this is like, we consider this a job now. Like, we want to make it like an actual thing and see what we can do. And that would have not happened if you guys didn't give us the support. So we did not just come here by accident. You all played a role, a subscription here, a like here, a share, a comment, and that has brought us to this point. So we're very, very grateful. And I think we owe it to you guys to, go bigger. You know what I mean? So we're very excited. A lot of great things coming, and you don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out.
So thank you.
Thank you, guys. We love you. Mwah. Peace out. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
And 3, I do, I want.
Are you not having your tea?
Oh, okay. Then we're asking, why are you having tea in Kilifi?
We're Kenyans. This is how we as Kenyans behave.
Yeah. Actually, the best way to cool down in a hot place is to have something hot. Somebody
Yeah.
gave me this science.
A friend of ours told us, fight fire with fire.
Mm.
So it's really hot where we stay, but
You have
somehow
to fight
I
it.
always drink hot drinks and I'm totally fine.
You have to